Well, hey, Renaissance family, wanted to shoot a quick video just to update you on some of the things that are going to be happening over the next few months. As you're well aware by now, a lot of the mandates, a lot of the restrictions that we've been under are coming to an end. And so you might be asking, what is Renaissance's plan going forward over the next couple of months? And to be quite honest, we weren't quite expecting this to happen as quickly as it did, for these things to be lifted as fast as they are. And so we're still working on some of our game plan. But I still wanted to give you an update about some of those things. In fact, in 3 areas. The first is just with our celebrations. We are planning on right now still meeting digitally once a month in June and in July. Our goal right now, tentatively, is August to be meeting in person again. And a lot of that is we're just kind of having to start from scratch again. We had a plan in place to start meeting in person right before the pandemic hit. Of Easter of 2020 was going to be our first time having an in-person celebration. COVID threw that all out the window, and now we're going to have to basically start over with how those look and how those are going to operate. We're actively working on that right now, and our goal is August to kind of get us all together again. In the meantime, we really still hope you will, with your family and in your microchurch, tune in with us in June and July and kind of operate as we have been. Part of that, which is the number 2 thing that I want to update you about, is something for you to be praying about. We are hopefully coming to an end here where we are going to officially have a lease for a space. For some of you, you've been in the loop with this, but we have been actively trying to acquire a space in Waltham to open a cafe co-working space called Goodco. That's going to be giving back a portion of its proceeds to the community. And that's going to be something that Renaissance is going to be able to utilize outside of business hours. Is probably going to be a facility that we utilize for our celebrations. And so part of the reason we're a little all over the place is because we're hopefully going to finish up signing that lease, be able to move forward with the city and begin construction. And so there'll probably be a few months that we're kind of in between trying to figure all of those things out. But if you would just be praying for that. It has been a long process. It's been over 2 years. It's like 2.5 years that we've been in this process, and really about 6 months of trying to acquire this facility. And so be praying for the lease, be praying as we kind of go with the city, that this would be something that we could be able to move forward with. We want to be able to bless our community. The whole goal of the space is to give back to local nonprofits and to spotlight them, some of the amazing work that's happening in our city, to love on the least of these and help people get housing and food and clothing and all those sorts of things, help people with disabilities. So we really want those prayers, and hopefully we'll be able to move forward, and that will also be a space that will kind of be a hub for Renaissance outside of business hours. Finally, in the meantime, while we're waiting to meet in person, we're providing you some meetups over the next few months. You might have seen the announcement that we have one coming up on June 6th at 5 p.m. That's just going to kind of be a chance for us to hang out together. Some of you have been jumping into our cohorts during the pandemic. You've never got to hang out with anybody else from Renaissance. And so starting June 6th, we have one for you to just kind of hang out with us, spend some time with us. We're going to feed you for free. Just come, no expectations, and hang out. We're actually going to be planning several more of those. We're going to be planning one in July and August, possibly a beach day, possibly a brunch. And the great thing is that we're trying to create spaces that have no expectations. If you have something on the schedule and you can't make it, we understand. But just a space for you to come and have fun, to recreate, to enjoy the company of some other people in the Renaissance family, and nothing more. I was just reading this last week that our productivity went through the roof as a culture during the pandemic. Many of us have been, our outputs have never been higher. We've been working and doing all kinds of crazy things, even around the home. But eventually there's a cost to that. And I think many of us are tired, we're overwhelmed, and we need to rest. We need to recreate. I hope you are going to be taking vacations. I hope you are going to catch up on all the rest and time with family that you've missed out on maybe in the midst of the pandemic and the frenzy that it's been. And we hope these meetups are just another space of that. Spaces, again, that have no expectation except rest and recreating and just enjoying what God is doing. in our lives and in the lives of others. So those are the 3 updates. That's where Renaissance stands in the midst of the pandemic. If there's anything we can do to serve you in the meantime, grab coffee with you, grab a lunch. We're trying to do that with as many of you as you can. Please reach out and contact us. And we hope to see you at those meetups, and really hope to see you as we begin to gather together in celebration mode and worship together as a larger movement. Thanks, Renaissance.